what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab.
And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you.
Few hypothetical clashes in boxing ignite as much fire and fascination as the thought of Floyd Mayweather Jr. facing Terence Bud Crawford. These two icons stand as symbols of perfection from different generations, masters of timing, precision, and mental warfare inside the ropes. Analysts, fans, and former champions continue to weigh in, fueling endless debates over who would truly prevail if these boxing geniuses ever met in the ring. It's more than a question of punches or footwork. It's a clash of legacies and philosophies. On one side stands Mayweather, the undefeated defensive genius whose ring IQ and composure defined an era. On the other is Crawford, the fearless technician who adapts like water, combining creativity, power, and a ruthless finishing instinct. This isn't just a fantasy matchup. It's a discussion about greatness itself.
Definitely one of the greatest. He's done shit that Floyd Mayweather ain't done.
Like what?
Like what?
For audience that don't know.
He is a two-time undisputed champion. Floyd wasn't a one-time undisputed champion. So he has all the belts in one division and then moved up and got all the belts in another division. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of boxing.
Yes, and he beat the man.
And he beat the man. Let's give Terence Crawford his flowers because everything he said he was going to do,
he done it.
He did.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. walked away from boxing with a spotless record of 50 wins and 0 defeats, a milestone few in the sport's history can even approach. His resume reads like a Hall of Fame in itself, packed with victories over world champions spanning 5 different weight divisions. What set Mayweather apart wasn't just the numbers, but the manner in which he achieved them. He turned defense into an art form, controlling distance, timing, and tempo with surgical precision. Whether facing heavy hitters or master technicians, Mayweather found ways to dismantle every style placed before him. His dominance wasn't loud. It was calculated, clinical, and often frustratingly flawless. Inside the ropes, he didn't just win fights. He solved puzzles, one round at a time.
Floyd Mayweather stopped Conor McGregor in the 10th round to improve to 50-0 in what he says will be his final fight. I actually believe him this time, Max. What's his legacy?
Well, he's one of the great pure boxers who ever lived. He is never cheated himself. He always was in condition. He had no off nights. That's why he won every fight. It's one of the reasons. Not because he's one of the best to ever do it, and because he was always prepared over a very long amateur and pro career. Amazing. Another reason is he carefully selected opponents, knew when and where and when and who to fight, and basically changed the paradigm in boxing. I'll translate. He flipped the script. I mean, really, boxing is basically, and this is just the way it is, and I'm a huge boxing fan, and I make no apologies about it. But it is fans and networks essentially exploiting fighters. That's how it works. We want to, and we demand a level of dedication and risk-taking with your health that's insane, right? Like, someone's getting their head beaten every which way, and if you quit, you don't have heart. You can't be a great fighter, which is true, by the way. It's a blood sport. And Floyd, and usually fighters wind up broke and punch drunk. And Floyd Mayweather flipped the script. He said, no, I'm not going to let the game play me. I'm going to play the game.
Giant's Bud Crawford, on the other hand, has quietly carved out one of the most complete and respected legacies in modern boxing. Rising through the ranks with precision and patience, he has achieved what few ever do, becoming an undisputed champion across multiple weight divisions while leaving behind a trail of defeated contenders who simply couldn't solve his style. Crawford's brilliance lies in his versatility. A natural switch hitter with the ability to fight equally well from orthodox or southpaw stances, He mixes sharp timing with explosive bursts of power that can end a fight in an instant. His ring IQ rivals the very best, allowing him to read, adjust, and break down opponents round by round. At AT welterweight, his dominance has been so absolute that he now stands in rare company, a name mentioned in the same breath as legends. In today's pound-for-pound discussions, Crawford sits near the top, with only the shadow of Mayweather's perfect legacy still lingering above him. It's no wonder that fighters, trainers, and boxing veterans around the world continue to join the debate, each offering their own take on how this dream matchup would unfold.
Everything is on Terence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that all that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game. And if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion. And he had the
Oscar de la Hoya, a former rival of Mayweather and a legend in his own right, recently reignited the debate with a bold declaration. He maintains that Floyd Mayweather remains the superior fighter, emphasizing that Floyd's flawless record, unmatched precision, and technical discipline place him in a category few can touch. To De La Hoya, Mayweather's legacy isn't just built on victories, it's defined by a career of complete dominance against the very best. His stance echoes the sentiment of many within boxing's old guard, who view Mayweather as the gold standard, a fighter who not only won but made greatness look routine year after year. But not everyone shares that view. On the other side of the debate stands Canelo Alvarez, another elite who once tested his skills against Mayweather back in 2013, and more recently crossed paths with Terence Crawford. Canelo turned heads when he claimed that Crawford is way better than Floyd, praising Bud's fight IQ, adaptability, and the quality of his recent performances coming from someone who has stood across the ring from both men. Canelo's opinion holds serious weight. His comments add a fascinating twist to the ongoing conversation, a clash of perspectives between boxing's past perfection and its present evolution.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, and or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
You faced Mayweather, you were 23 years old, I believe?
23.
And
just
again,
turned 23.
Yeah, you just turned 23. You didn't have a lot of seasoning. I know people will say, oh, he had a lot of fights. Well, you didn't have an amateur career. You started boxing at 15 as a pro, right?
Yeah.
So you gave up the weight concession. You gave up the rehydration clause. And I always thought if you would have faced him, with some more seasoning, it would have gone differently.
He deserved the position in that moment because, Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters in the boxing history, and he deserved the position in that moment. I try to make history, and I try to put myself in the very top in that moment. But for some reason, doesn't happen, right? And yeah, like you say, if I had that fight with Miguel Angel Cotto first and all these kind of fights and then fight Mayweather, maybe go in the different way. But, we never gonna know. We never gonna know. And I learned what from that fight, and like I say, things happen for a reason.
Shane Mosley, another respected veteran and former world champion who went a full 12 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, has offered his own take on the dream matchup. Surprisingly to some, Mosley leans toward Terence Crawford, arguing that Bud's complete skill set and adaptability give him the edge in a head-to-head scenario. According to Mosley, Crawford's offensive variety, his ability to switch stances, adjust rhythm, and create unexpected angles, makes him a more unpredictable and dangerous opponent than most fighters Mayweather ever faced. His perspective comes from experience. Few understand the brilliance of Mayweather's defensive mastery better than someone who shared the ring with him. Still, Mosley notes that while Floyd's precision and control were unmatched, Crawford represents a new breed, a fighter with equal intelligence, more aggression, and a broader range of tools. To Mosley, it's not about diminishing Mayweather's greatness, but recognizing that Crawford brings dimensions Floyd never had to confront during his era.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
At the same time, Shane Mosley has made it clear that his admiration for Terence Crawford doesn't come at the expense of Floyd Mayweather's greatness. In numerous interviews, Mosley has emphasized that while Crawford may have the more diverse offensive arsenal, Mayweather remains one of the most difficult fighters in history to decode. Mosley often reminds fans that Mayweather's brilliance wasn't built on power or flash. It was born from discipline, timing, and defensive perfection. His ability to anticipate, react, and neutralize any attack made him a near-impossible puzzle to solve. Even those who shared the ring with him admit that Mayweather's defensive wall and ring IQ operated on a level rarely seen in boxing. As Mosley puts it, you can hit the heavy bag all day, but it's different when the target in front of you never stops thinking.
About his power. When you attack Floyd, he has a way of making you run into it and you feel the power, like a collision. But when you kind of box away from him, yes, he has power, but not like he does when you're trying to attack him. He's not weak, he's strong. Like I say, he trains hard and he does all the things you're supposed to do as a fighter or as a champion to be the best.
Mosley's insight comes with first-hand experience. He shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather back in 2010, and for a brief moment, it looked like history might be made. In the second round, Mosley landed a thunderous right hand that visibly rocked Mayweather, a rare sight in his career, but what followed left a lasting impression on Mosley. Within seconds, Floyd adapted, reset, and completely shut him down. From that point onward, Mayweather's adjustments were so precise that Mosley couldn't find another clear opening for the rest of the fight. That experience forever shaped Mosley's perspective. He openly acknowledges Crawford's size, switch-hitting ability, and creative offense, recognizing that Bud brings a dynamic style few can match. Yet, having faced Mayweather's calculated defense up close, Mosley understands just how impossible it is to crack that code. To him, it's simple. Crawford may have more weapons, but Mayweather mastered the art of neutralizing them before they could ever land.
Everybody talk about Shane Cardi. But what was the issue? Shane started hesitating. Why did Shane hesitate? Because he took the best shot and he stood there, held on tight, and on top of that, made Shane feel his strength. And came back out like nothing happened the previous round.
Right.
But still stone cold.
Right.
And then Shane ends up being the one hesitating, waiting, and the fight get away from him.
I'm saying Shane hit me with a hell of a shot. Okay. Actually, 2 shots.
Oh, okay.
But even in that particular round, what I said to Shane was this. I was like,
you said something to him when you grabbed him.
I said, you gotta kill me.
Oh shit. I wasn't ready, bro.
I said that was a good one. I said that was a good one, but you gotta kill me.
Wow.
I said you gotta kill me. And then I'm not gonna lie.